Okay, YouTube, we have a Catback dual exhaust kit from truckexhaustkits.com, otherwise maybe also known as Magnum Exhaust. Got this off of eBay, which was from their factory store. This is on a 2011 5.3 liter V8 GMC Sierra. And I've got the Flowmaster Super44 as the muffler that I'm going to be putting on here. And so here's some of the bands that come with it to hang the pipe. Some of the one more thing I'll mention: these exhaust hangers, they do rotate side to side. This part down here where my pinky's at, that will rotate. So it's going to strap to your frame like that and hook onto your pipe there. So don't try bending the actual strap. Most of the time they come shipped like this, so they will actually bend so that they're perpendicular to the strap. The clamps for the pipes themselves, we've got from the muffler back on the driver's side, kind of laid out and mocked up just a little bit, and then the two pieces for the passenger side. So I've got the truck jacked up here, got it on some Rhino ramps, and the first step is to remove the tailpipe from the original muffler. So I'm going to be working on doing that. First thing I need to look at is the hanger brackets for the exhaust. Now this kit comes with new straps, so I'm going to have to drill a hole in the frame and bolt those on. But these are really tough to get off. I actually had to go through and use the Sawzall to cut through that strap. You can kind of see it right there. It's cut, and I was able to get that off. So I'm going to probably have to do that to the rest of them. I put some WD-40 on them, wiggled them as best as I could, pried them as much as I could. Couldn't get them loose, so kudos to General Motors for keeping your exhaust pipes on. But they're hard to get off when you want to. So I'm gonna have to probably do that on the rest of them. Okay, so if you're gonna go with the Sawzall approach to cutting those exhaust hangers brackets, I recommend just cutting them straight in half. They are metal enforced on each side, which makes it a bit difficult to get through. So use a metal Sawzall blade. There you can see the two at the back of the muffler. Just cut them right in half. You're going to destroy those no matter how you do it. You'd have to buy new ones if you ever tried to redo something there and put stock exhaust back on. So you might as well just get it over easy and cut them in half. I'm just getting started here on cutting off the exhaust pipe after the muffler, still on the stock exhaust here. And there is what the Sawzall looks like, getting ready to cut off that exhaust pipe coming out of the back of the stock muffler. Okay, so there you can see some water draining out of the stock exhaust. It's condensation that would be normal, especially it's the winter time when I'm doing this. So just FYI, you might get a little bit wet from the condensation running out of your stock exhaust. Once you cut it off, because that stock exhaust kind of starts hanging down and tilts downward. So just be aware of that. Okay, so here I've just got some bungee straps mocking up the rear tailpipes. That way I can see where I need to cut the header pipe off. You can see the two pipes sticking down, ready to connect to the Flowmaster right there. Okay, so here you can see I've got the Flowmaster mocked up. I've got the two tailpipes bungeed. I didn't tighten those clamps down. I've just got the tailpipe slid into the Flowmaster. Here you can see the passenger side. Looks like it's angled pretty decent. I've got the tailpipe stopping right at the bumper. I'm going to put chrome tips on this that are going to extrude out just a little bit past the bumper. So I don't need to be too careful as far as my placement on that pipe, because I'm going to be putting those extensions on anyway. I'm going to have to cut that. But what I want to be careful of is this angle to make sure it's not getting too close to the spare tire there. Looks like I'm going to have plenty of clearance there. Once it's mounted up over the axle there, everything should just be fine. Over here on the driver's side, same thing. Once that's mounted up, you can see there's good clearance away from the spare tire, and again coming out right towards the end of the bumper, which again will have that tip on it. So I should have really good coverage here. Just be able to secure these pipes once I'm all finished mocking up that muffler. Okay, so on the header pipe, there's the stock header going into the stock muffler, and there you see the Flowmaster. Looks like it's going to be just about perfect if I cut right there coming off the muffler, that it should line right up with my new Flowmaster muffler. So I'm going to cut that as close as I can to the muffler. I'm going to try and get it just right in here before it starts to flange just a little bit, and that should connect perfectly to my muffler. And then if it happens to be a little bit too long, I can always cut some more off, but it's a lot harder to add on to that pipe than it is to cut more off of it. So that's going to be my route, or my plan, and I'll show you what that looks like when we get there. Okay, so here's the stock muffler, and it is 2 3/4 in and out. And the Flowmaster is 2.5 inch dual out and 3 inch in. So what you see is that this is loose. So some of the kits from this company come with an adapter. However, my kit said it didn't need one and said it was not included. It wasn't. So what I'm going to end up having to do is get a 2 3/4 into a 3 inch adapter somehow there. Okay, so getting back into this exhaust project. Went to my exhaust shop, local exhaust shop, and got a 3 inch piece of exhaust. This is 2 3/4. This is a 3 inch inlet off my Flowmaster Super44. And the 3 inch slides in, got it clamped down. And then because the outer diameter is a little bit bigger than 2 3/4, it actually slides in there pretty good. There is a little bit of slack space, but with the clamp, it's tightened really tight. And that kind of fixed the issue that I was going to have. Now I do know they make adapter pieces. Ideally they would have come with the kit, but like I said, they didn't. So if you're somebody doing this in your own garage and you get this kit, it might be something that you have to think about. Again, now these 3 inch clamps, pipe clamps, I had to go out and buy as well, because the 2.5 inch clamps that the company sent do not fit. So anyway, here's the rest of the exhaust. There's the Flowmaster Super44. It's installed. I've got my tailpipes installed. Here you can see it running over the top on the passenger side of the axle, and then the driver's side runs up. Let me see. There we go. Over around the spare tire and near those brake lines. Now that's about the only spot that is really kind of iffy on how close it is to some actual lines. Ideally, I guess maybe the pipe would have been bent a little bit differently in order to keep going high before it ran down those lines. So I might have to get some heat shield. I'm not sure how susceptible those lines actually will be or not. So cross my fingers there, I guess. And what I did to mock it up is I just got some exhaust pipe straps from like O'Reilly's or Napa. And you can see here I've got it strapped up. And that's just for mock-up. I am going to use the actual metal straps and the metal or the rubber bushings to fully install this. But I needed to get the pipes up where I needed them in order to hold and be secure. So there you can see the passenger side tailpipe coming out, plenty of clearance on the spare tire. There is a bungee strap down there at the end. That's just hanging loose, so I also have it strapped up with some metal strapping that I'll replace with a exhaust pipe hanger short momentarily. And there you can see the driver's side, same situation there. The bungee, I highly recommend using those bungees before you put the straps on to mock up your pipes, just because they hold it really well. And then you can put the metal parts, the metal straps on to tighten it up. And they're only a couple bucks a piece, so it makes life a whole lot easier when trying to install one of these kits by yourself. The kit does come with these chrome slash cut tips. They are to be welded on, so I'm going to put those on the pipes to come out to, I guess, about there, just to outside the tailpipe or outside the bumper. But I'm going to wait to do that. Just want to kind of get an idea for everybody to see what this looks like. All right, I'd say that sounds pretty good, a whole lot better than it sounded stock. Hopefully this tutorial was helpful to you, and please leave some comments. Please be kind. I definitely made some mistakes, definitely learned some lessons, but again, I've never done any exhaust work. I'm just a weekend mechanic per se, trying to maintain and upgrade some of my own vehicles. And I enjoy doing this kind of stuff, so that's what I'm doing, but I appreciate the comments. Please be constructive and kind. Hope everybody has a good day. Later.